I choose the joy of God instead of pain. You choose the joy of God instead of pain. Welcome back, fam. Today, we are going to be studying lesson 190 of A Course in Miracles. Me and you choose the joy of God instead of pain. And the very simple thing to understand about this lesson is that we are choosing between these two options at every moment in time. Although we wouldn't call the decisions that we're making in relation to our career path or job or money or friends or what we're going to do today or this or this or this or that or the third, whatever we're experiencing in the world, whatever decision that we're making at any moment in time. And remember, we've discussed this at length in earlier lessons, that we are deciding at every moment in time. You cannot not decide. You're always deciding 24/7. Me and you are deciding to be here right now, and we can change that decision anytime we want to. We're always deciding every single moment, every single nanosecond, every single now. We are deciding. Sometimes we're aware that we're deciding, and sometimes we're deciding not so deliberately. And it's important to understand what we are choosing and deciding at every single moment. And whenever we know that our only two options at any given moment are to choose between God or pain, then it kind of makes the choices that we have a little easier to choose, don't you think? So we have to remember that me and you choose today the joy of God instead of pain. And anytime we choose pain, what we're essentially saying is God is not real. And anytime we choose God instead of pain, what we're saying is pain is not real, because it isn't. Pain is just the byproduct. It is what you experience as a result of not knowing who you truly are. Whenever you know who you truly are, whenever you know that you are love and light and you are invulnerable and you are to this very day as God created you, and you know that God creates by extending forth his being in order to create, and you know that you are an extension of that which the world calls God, whenever you know that that's who you are and you know who your creator is, you understand that pain is not real. And not only you understand that, but pain cannot be experienced whenever you know who you really are. Right now, if you're with me and you know who you really are right now, there's no pain to experience, because you cannot. Spirit cannot be in a state of pain, because pain is simply, again, not real. It is not reality. It is the byproduct of not knowing who you really are. It is the byproduct. It is what you experience as a result of being this body and thinking that you're this body, thinking that you're in this world and you're affected by things outside of yourself. It is what you experience whenever you are being this self-image that we call ego, the ego that you made. This is what you experience. You experience pain in whatever form that it may take, in whatever form that upset or fear may take. You are going to experience that as a byproduct of not remembering who you really are. And because me and you are here in our true nature right now, being as God created us, and all that means is we are in our right mind. We are in a state of mind that is so pure and so loving and so free that pain is something that can never be experienced by us, or at least right now anyways, unless we fall asleep, i.e., unless we think up some thoughts from the past that cause us to direct our attention from the love of God to whatever we perceive that is fearful. That's what's going to cause us to be thrown out of this state of mind, and we're going to basically fall back asleep in the world of illusion. Now, that world is something that we left in the past a long time ago. We are here now. We are in the presence of who we really are, and every single time me and you have these conversations, we gain more and more and more of the ability to reach this state easier and easier and easier, till we will no longer have to try to reach this state, because we will never have left this state of mind. This state of mind of love and peace and outrageous joy is something that me and you can experience 24/7 uninterrupted and remain here forevermore. This is our natural state, and what's actually very unnatural is whenever we are being anything other than this. Whenever we are experiencing anything other than what we're experiencing right now, i.e. pain, we are not in our right minds. And it's good to be aware that whenever you're experiencing pain, say, hey, I'm experiencing pain, whatever form it may be taking right now, upset, irritation, doubt, etc. And that shows me that I am not allowing the fullness of who I really am to flow through me. And I want to be who I really am. Therefore, I am going to do something about releasing resistance, meaning I'm going to remove my attention from whatever is causing me to feel this way right now, and I'm going to direct my attention to something that feels a little bit better. And that's the key. Feel a little bit better, because sometimes whenever you're in worry or doubt or fear or depression or anger, you can't jump to the state of mind where we're at right now, because it's a very long distance energetically, meaning if you're all the way down here energetically on anger and you're trying to jump to outrageous joy, which is what we're feeling right now, it's going to be a very large jump. It's going to be a very large leap, and it's going to be something that is not impossible, but the next logical step from anger would be to go to irritation. So instead of trying to talk yourself into outrageous joy from anger, which is going to be very more frustrating, how about you just get a little irritated? How about you get frustrated instead of being angry, and move up just a little bit? And then from irritation, move up to boredom. And then from boredom, move to hopefulness. And then from hopefulness, I'm sure that will be around the range where you could jump to the state of mind. The whole point for mentioning that gradual shift in energy or awareness is to mention that you don't have to try to get here as fast as possible whenever you're somewhere far from here. The best thing to remember is that anytime you are asleep in the world of illusion, it's just good to kind of ease yourself into the state of mind until you know you're here and you're back. Because trying to get yourself here whenever you're far away from it energetically is going to just kind of lead you back in that loophole, and you're going to beat up on yourself for ever getting out of this state of mind, and it's just going to be very unnecessary. So whenever you do find yourself in that situation, if you do still, then just make sure to move gradually and feel a little better, a little better, a little better, until you return back to your natural state of mind. Now we are going to dive straight in, so go ahead and open the book to the lesson if you're not there already. And if you don't got the book yet, the PDF is in the description. Let's go ahead and begin. Me and you choose the joy of God instead of pain. Pain is a wrong perspective. When it is experienced in any form, it is a proof of self-deception. It is not a fact at all. There is no form it takes that will not disappear if seen aright. For pain proclaims God is cruel. How could it be real in any form? It witnesses to God the Father's hatred of his Son, the sinfulness he sees in him, and his insane desire for revenge and death. Can such projections be attested to? Can they be anything but wholly false? Pain is but witness to the Son's mistakes in what he thinks he is. It is a dream of fierce retaliation for a crime that could not be committed, for attack on what is wholly unassailable. It is a nightmare of abandonment by an eternal love, which could not leave the Son whom it created out of love. Pain is a sign illusions reign in place of truth. It demonstrates God is denied, confused with fear, perceived as mad, and seen as traitor to himself. If God is real, there is no pain. If pain is real, there is no God. For vengeance is not part of love, and fear, denying love and using pain to prove that God is dead, has shown that death is victor over life. The body is the Son of God, corruptible in death, as mortal as the Father he has slain. Now, we are going to pause right there, and like we always say, the Course uses very dramatized examples and references, and this is good because it helps me and you see and understand that if we believe in pain, we must also have to believe in everything that's being stated right now, such as such as God is denied, confused with fear, perceived as mad, and seen as traitor to himself, and so on and so forth. And fear, denying love and using pain to prove that God is dead, has shown that death is victor over life. The body is the Son of God, corruptible in death, as mortal as the Father he has slain. So basically, that very dramatized imagery is used to show us again that whenever we believe in pain, this is what we also must have to believe. And if somebody obviously believes what was just stated right now, it's common sense that they're not in the right mind, because if this were so, then the source of all that is would also have to be not so. If pain is real, God is not real. And if God is real, which God is, which truth is, which love and light is, then pain must simply be a mere hallucination and illusion of what is really going on here. Now, this is important for us to know, because whenever we do experience any form of pain, such as worry, doubt, fear, jealousy, envy, not enoughness, or pride, etc., then we can remember, oh, this right now in this moment, because I'm experiencing what I think is pain, what I'm saying right now is God is not real. What I am saying right now is who I really am is not real, that love is not real, and that pain is real, and I am doomed to my pain forevermore. This is just who I am. I am this body, this tiny little self, and what I'm experiencing is real. And you're stuck there. You're in a trap. You're in a loophole, and now you can't get out of it, because if pain is real, again, which is not, but if you believe that it is real, it's going to be challenging for you to become in your right mind and see that you're just hallucinating. Most people would rather be right than to admit that they would want to be happy, meaning someone would rather be in their pain and stay there and prove why they're right for experiencing that pain, or explain long-windedly that they are justified for experiencing what they're experiencing, when they could just wake up and be in the right mind. And it's not that easy. Trust me, whenever you're asleep, it's challenging, especially whenever someone knows nothing of the magnitude of what we're discussing. It's very challenging for them to know what's going on. They really in that moment know nothing. They have no clue why they're experiencing that form of pain. They have no clue about who they really are. They think that they are this body. They are lost, a lost soul in this world, and they are just clueless. And what me and you are here suggesting right now is that we don't want to be clueless, meaning, of course, we grew up in this world and we have some beliefs that cause us to fall asleep from time to time, meaning we have some beliefs that cause us to feel like we're lacking something, or impatient, or we're running out of time, or there's not enough time for us to do things that we want to do, or we're getting older. We believe in age, we believe in space and time and form, and we have beliefs still that cause us to get thrown back into the world of illusion. But me and you are not clueless no more, because we know what we know now. And it's important for us to be aware of whenever we are experiencing any form of pain, even if it is a small upset, that is still pain, because a peaceful mind can only be peaceful. Meaning, if there's a tiny little irritation, you're not peaceful at all. No matter how small that irritation may be, you are not in your right mind, because your right mind is whole and undivided, and it's 100% peace. You cannot have 99% peace, because that's not peace at all. A peaceful mind is, I am in my right mind and I'm only experiencing love right now, or I'm experiencing 1% of irritation or anything greater, and that is an illusion in itself, and I need to get back to my right mind. Now, what we're discussing here, we've discussed at length for the past 190 days. It's just important for us to go over and over and over it again, because now whenever we do experience any of those fearful or painful or uneasy or unnecessary emotions or states of mind, we can choose to do something about it. Whenever we're unaware that we're there, though, we cannot choose something different because we're unaware that we're choosing to begin with. Whenever someone is experiencing any form of upset, they're choosing to experience that, and they're choosing by default. They're choosing not deliberately. They're choosing based off of their programmed patterns from this world of illusion that they're so used to. However, now that me and you know that we're choosing all the time, and we have the option to choose only ever between God or pain, then we will have an easier time making those decisions whenever we are not in this state of mind. So it's very important for us to keep everything that we're discussing at the top of our minds at all time until we no longer have to, because it's became a program. Just like how me and you have been programmed, and the world has been programmed from being in this world, which is dominated by a thought system 180 degrees away from truth. And we thought these thoughts of the world so many times that it's easy for us to think these thoughts now. What me and you are doing is repeating love and light thoughts like we have been doing for the past, again, 190 days. And by repetition of these thoughts and phrases and truth and knowledge and wisdom, we are returning back to the awareness of what really is. We are returning back to the awareness of truth. And the more and more and more we start to see truth and have this spoken, and we start keeping this as our main priority, then we'll start to look outside of ourselves and we'll see truth everywhere. And we're basically returning to love, because all of those forms of illusion are not really there. They are simply denials of truth. Truth is just truth, and it cannot be changed, but you can deny truth. And whenever someone denies truth, they're going to experience pain in whatever form that it may take. And whenever someone, like we are doing right now, accepts truth, then the only thing that we can experience is love, or whatever form that love may take. But we cannot experience any form of pain whenever we are accepting truth, because truth is this state of mind. We are in our natural state of mind right now by feeling the love in the way that we do right now. And when we're feeling anything less than this, we are simply in our wrong mind. We are not thinking at all. We are hallucinating, and we need to be aware of whenever we are doing so that way we can return to our right state of mind. Peace to such foolishness. The time has come to laugh at such insane ideas. There is no need to think of them as savage crimes or secret sins with weighty consequences. Who but a madman can conceive of them as cause of anything? Their witness, pain, is mad as they, and no more to be feared than the insane illusions which it shields and tries to demonstrate must still be true. It is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt or injure you in any way. This is powerful, and we're going to read that one more time, and that is definitely worthy of being highlighted. It is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt or injure you in any way, because nothing external to your mind exists. There is no cause beyond yourself that can reach down and bring oppression. No one but yourself affects you. No one but yourself affects you. No one but yourself affects you. No one but myself affects me. No one but myself affects me. That is a powerful affirmation, if you will, to repeat until you no longer have to repeat it, because it's just a fact to you. No one but myself affects me. No one but myself affects me. That, as simple as it may seem, is not very known to most people, because they are believing that they are being affected by so many things outside of themselves. And that's a very sad way to live, if you ask me, because you're basically giving your power, which you cannot really do, but you're basically giving your power to something outside of you, which you cannot really do, but you can believe that you can. And because you believe that you can, you're going to perceive as if you did give your power to that person. Now you're powerless. But if that person would say to themselves, no one but myself affects me, they would regain all their power and control. There is nothing in the world that has the power to make you ill or sad or weak or frail, but it is you who have the power to dominate all things you see by merely recognizing what you are. As you perceive them harmless in them, as you perceive the harmlessness in them, they will accept your holy will as theirs. And what was seen as fearful now becomes a source of innocence and holiness. My holy brother, think of this a while. The world you see does nothing. It has no effects at all. It merely represents your thoughts. Powerful. One more time. My holy brother, think of this a while. The world you see does not do nothing. It does nothing. It has no effects at all. It merely represents your thoughts. That is the most powerful bar I have heard in the longest time, and again, worthy of being highlighted. And it will change entirely as you elect to change your mind and choose the joy of God as what you really want. The joy of God is really the only thing that we have to choose from. We cannot really choose pain in truth because it's not really there. But as long as we are in the world of duality where we believe that there's options, we're able to choose an option that's not really there because we believe that it is there. Therefore, although we can't really choose this in truth, we believe that we're choosing it. Therefore, it's just as equal as us giving our power away, which we cannot really do, but believing that we can give it away. It's all an illusion. Whenever you understand that there's only one choice ever, and that choice is the joy of God, then you're going to choose that more often because that's all that there is. You have nothing else to choose from. However, believing that pain is an option, you can definitely go in that direction in your beliefs and perception and will experience the effects of that and are going to be bound by that until you wake up and remember that it's not real. You are not the body. You are not who you think you are. You are more, way more than you think you are. You are love. I am love. We are light. We are peace. We are it all. We are doing it all. There is nothing outside of us that can affect us. And as long as we believe there is, we are going to be hallucinating. And as long as we believe that we are not the cause over everything in our world, we are going to remain asleep. And whenever we remember that we are the cause of it all, then we can finally start to choose deliberately and experience the effects of us choosing God instead of pain. Your capital S self is radiant in this holy joy, unchanged, unchanging, and unchangeable forever and forever. And would you deny a little corner of your mind its own inheritance and keep it as a hospital for pain, a sickly place where living things must come at last to die? The world may seem to cause you pain, and yet the world, as causeless, has no power to cause. As an effect, it cannot make effects. As an illusion, it is what you wish. Your idle wishes represent its pains. Your strange desires bring it evil dreams. Your thoughts of death envelop it in fear, while in your kind forgiveness does it live. Pain is the thought of evil taking form. Powerful. Pain is the thought of evil taking form. And working havoc in your holy mind. Pain is the ransom you have gladly paid not to be free. In pain is God denied the Son he loves. In pain does fear appear to triumph over love, and time replace eternity and heaven. And the world becomes a cruel and a bitter place where sorrow rules and little joys give way before the onslaught of the savage pain that waits to end all joy in misery. Again, this is some very exaggerated imagery that we are being presented with, and this is a good thing because this is what we must be believing if we believe in pain. And whenever we are looking at this exaggerated imagery and seeing it as it really is, which is just insane, and it is obviously common sensely not what is possible, then it's like, okay, this kind of helps put things in perspective. Now I understand that whenever I am experiencing anything other than my right mind, I am simply asleep, and I am choosing something that I wouldn't be choosing if I was awake. I'm choosing not deliberately. Let's remember that, and let's change the way we make decisions. Let's make decisions deliberately, consciously. Let's make them in relation to truth so much times that we no longer have to choose, because it is just a byproduct of us being in our right mind. This will get easier, and I don't even want to say with time, but let's just say it for the sake of us being in these bodies right now, unlearning everything that we've learned in this world. This will get easier with time. As long as me and you keep feeding our mind with truth and only truth, it will become what consumes our mind, and anything other than truth will be seen as it really is, which is an illusion. The only reason why truth, like what we're discussing right now, seems hard or challenging to someone is because it is new to them. It is foreign to them because their whole mind is consumed with illusions. So seeing something that opposes their current belief system, which is truth, looks foreign, and they disregard it as not real, when really that is the only thing that is real. And what me and you are doing is we first had a mind full of illusions, and we started filtering out all those illusions, cleaning it out by replacing it with knowledge and truth. And now that we're expanding our minds and our awareness on this knowledge and truth, it is what consumes our mind more dominantly, more primarily. Now, anytime an illusion comes in our mind, we're able to spot it for what it really is, which is not there, because we have so much truth as the foundation and basis of our understanding of this world that whenever something opposes that truth, we can dismiss it because it serves no purpose. And that's what the rest of the world is doing, but backwards. Their mind is full of illusions, and any form of truth that enters their minds is seen as something that they want to dismiss because it challenges what they currently believe is how the world operates and how and who they really are. So we have to remember that. Here will you understand there is no pain. Lay down your arms and come without defense into the quiet place where heaven's peace holds all the things still at last. Lay down all thoughts of danger and of fear. Let no attack enter with you. Lay down the cruel sword of judgment that you hold against your throat, and put aside the withering assaults with which you seek to hide your holiness. Here will you understand there is no pain. Here does the joy of God belong to you. This is the day when it is given you to realize the lesson that contains all of salvation's power. It is this: pain is an illusion, joy, reality. Pain is but sleep, joy is awakening. Pain is deception, joy alone is truth. And so again, we make the only choice that ever can be made. We choose between illusions and the truth, or pain and joy, or hell and heaven. Let our gratitude unto our teacher fill our hearts, as we are free to choose our joy instead of pain, our holiness in place of sin, the peace of God instead of conflict, and the light of heaven for the darkness of the world. We have the option to replace our current fearful belief system with love and light. We have the option to wake up. Isn't that such a good thing? Me and you, and not only me and you, because I'm sure we're awake by now, but the world has the option to wake up. They are not bound by the mistakes they've made in the past. They are not bound to what they think they could have done better, or what they didn't do good enough, or the littleness that they think they have, or the whatever it is that they're experiencing that they believe that they are stuck with, or it is challenging to break out of or break free from. Anyone out there who is not feeling free, who feel like they're lacking any situation, if they were to be in their right mind like we are right now, they would see that they have the option to replace all of the illusions that they're currently holding with truth. And it is going to at first take some practice and repetition, just like how it took repetition to believe something so obviously opposed to the truth. It's going to take some repetition to undo that thought system. But as we undo that thought system and we practice one such as this, and we do that enough times consistently until we no longer have to, because it becomes what we just know to be true once again and once and for all, then and only then can we experience uninterruptedly this love that we're experiencing right now. It's not very hard, but it is going to require us to put in some time and effort in this world until we finally get the hang of being in our right mind more often than being asleep, of being awake more often than being in the world of illusion, choosing God more often than choosing pain, choosing truth more often than choosing nothing, choosing love more often than choosing nothing, choosing what is more often than choosing what there is no option to choose from. All there is love. And whenever you know that, then you know that whenever you're experiencing anything less than that, you are simply hallucinating, because there is nothing other for you. There's nothing for you to choose from other than love. Love is simply it. And whenever you think you're choosing something other than love, you cannot really do that in truth, but however, you can do that in your belief system, and therefore you are going to experience what it would be like if that were a real option, which is not. So let's pause right there. This lesson was, again, very powerful, like all of them. We are going to conclude, and we are going to meet here again tomorrow for lesson 191 of A Course in Miracles, and I will see you there.